Hello and welcome to another episode of the Monday MOOcast. This is episode 21, and we are recording on the 21st, which means something Mayan, I'm sure. This is Mike, and I'm here with
Greg
and
Andrea.
And we are the Moos, and we're watching some video coverage of Greg, right?
Yes.
Playing some what?
Some Black Ops, zombies. I figured you all wouldn't want to see me run around in circles for like 15 minutes.
Right.
So I tried to see how far I could get with knife only. And
how far is that?
How'd that go?
Not very far. So you can see me fail. I didn't want to open up any doors. Didn't want to get any guns.
Right.
So
That's an interesting challenge, though. You know, to come up with like, I'm going to try this and see how well it goes.
Only someone as crazy as you about zombies would actually spend time doing this.
It's true.
So, obviously, we know what you've been playing this week. You've been playing some zombies. What else have you been spinning around that old disk drive, Greg?
Zombies, I tried to get a good multiplayer game, and I just realized how much I suck at Call of Duty.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think you're that bad.
It was not going
In Black Ops?
Yeah, it didn't go so well.
You're good at that one.
When I have teammates.
Oh.
Like, if I'm just by myself with the random green guys who suck at life, then no, I'm not that good. I played some Borderlands. The new DLC came out.
Is that good?
It is fun. There'll be a little bit of it coming up soon, and you can see some of my fail-worthy moments.
So, give me, without giving too many spoilers, because I haven't had a chance to play it yet. Give me your personal, like, what's a highlight of the DLC for you? What's a highlight of the new Pirates Booty DLC?
Well, for me, I really enjoyed Shade. He's a character that you find right at the very beginning.
Okay.
You come to a town called Oasis.
Okay.
And I don't want to ruin what he does, but he is really entertaining.
Cool.
As is Herbert.
Okay, cool. So good writing continues in the DLC.
Good writing continues. Captain Scarlet is, I don't know, I liked her at first, but then she got a little annoying.
Yeah.
So, but
not Claptrap annoying. Of course.
Not Claptrap annoying.
No, that's good, because he's really annoying.
Yeah, he is. But I wasn't a fan of the final boss.
Okay.
But I will say that I've been trying to work on the crazy impossible bosses, because they added, there's at least two they added. And
are they hidden, or do you know where to go to?
No, you know where they only show up after you finish it, though.
Oh, okay.
But man, they are tough. They are really hard. Like, Terramorphous is like a wuss compared to these two.
Cool.
So, but it's a lot of fun. If you haven't gotten the season pass and you really like Borderlands, I think you should get it, because if this is indicative of what's to come, there'll be some good stuff on the way.
And we've got 3 more main ones in the season pass, right?
Ones.
Yep. That's pretty cool. That's cool. All right, so Andrea, what have you been playing this week?
Not a whole lot. I played about 2 hours of Skyrim this week, and that's it.
Any highlights? Do you have any fun?
Yeah, actually, I finally started Dawnguard.
Good,
so
good for you.
I went to the Fort Dawnguard, got crossbow.
Oh, God, I love
set
crossbows
to hunt some vampires. So I needed to go back to Dawnstar for something, the next part of the quest after going to the fort and talking to that one guy. I needed to go to a place that was close to Dawnstar. So I fast traveled back to Dawnstar, and oh no, all of the townspeople are having these horrible nightmares. So I got sidetracked on this other quest, so I needed to...
Oh, you hadn't done that quest yet. I love that quest.
No, I found this guy who gave me some potion, and then I went into somebody's memory, and then... so I saved the town, and then, I didn't get much farther than that. So I started Dawnguard. I just got distracted with the side quest, which is like all I do in Skyrim.
Yeah, right.
So.
And your level of excitement for Skyrim is still not waning. You're still having a great time.
Yeah, that's really the only thing I've been playing. Although I do have to say, as I was playing Skyrim yesterday, it's like, man, I need to play some Call of Duty because it's been a while. So I'm starting to get like the itch. I need to play some multiplayer.
Well, it's about to be scratched in a couple weeks again, Andrea.
Yeah.
I realized that I actually am shooting my gun and throwing grenades.
Yeah, you're
so I guess it shouldn't be a knife only.
It's a knife mostly.
Mostly.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go.
I like
Knife
that.
mostly. Awesome. Well, I don't have much to report as far as games I played this week because sadly I've been doing a million work projects. But interestingly enough, because I've been doing work projects on my home computer, I've had some time to actually dig into some computer games. So I realized while you guys were talking about what you played this week that I can't escape the lure of the games even when I have a million work projects to do. So I have been playing a few games. They've been on computer and they've been medieval simulators, which are actually awesome, I found. There's a game that just came out on Steam called Chivalry Medieval Warfare, which is a first-person slasher. It's actually awesome. It's incredibly gory, and it's like throwing yourself in the middle of like a Braveheart fight. Like it's a medieval fight, so they use like accurate weapons. And obviously, instead of guns, you have to aim like sword blows and stuff like that, and block with your shield and shoot crossbows and stuff. Any kind of weapon they would have had in like 1500. Actually, before 1500, like 1400s. And it is awesome. So it's only $24, by the way, guys. New game, $24 on Steam. Unlike console, yeah, right. Right. So I picked it up kind of on a whim, and I'm actually having a great time with it. But I am looking forward to getting back into console gaming this week because Medal of Honor Warfighter will be coming out and coming to my door in just a matter of days. So I'm excited about that.
Is that Tuesday?
Yeah, Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so I'm looking forward to that this week, but no consoles for me this past week, sadly. So there's an article I have here in our notes that there was an article that
Oh,
sent
yeah.
to us, Andrew.
Friend of MooCast sent
Olsenator.
a...
We love
Yeah.
you.
Olsenator.
Sent us an interesting article. It's called How New Games Succeed and Why So Many Fail.
Okay.
I'll be sure to put the link at the bottom of the video description so you
Sure.
can check it out. But it had some interesting points. It really, I feel like the author used Dishonored as a reference point.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like he really likes this game and it's new. And so he, to quote, he said, "It's a gorgeous, fascinating universe with moral ambiguities, has a great central character, compelling and enduring gameplay, and a certain splash of originality." So all of those factors to this author are important for what makes a game successful,
Okay.
and which I agree. So with different titles that come out, he used L.A. Noire as one of his many examples. I remember that one because, of course, I played that game. So
Sure.
it's like, okay. And I agree that with the author that L.A. Noire was so original. I was really looking forward to getting the game. I've never played anything like it.
Right.
But just, it gets so repetitive. And
Right.
it's tedious. And there's not, or at least from my opinion, there wasn't much of a story. Which got me thinking that, for me, when I really like a game, there's got to be some... The story is one of the most important factors that makes me interested and pushes the game along.
Yeah.
And I haven't played L.A. Noire in I don't know how long. It was a good game, but yeah, I got a little bored, and I just felt like there was no story that connected it. I know there are different flashbacks or memories. I don't know what it was, but it was, no, I don't know. I like something that pushes it along. That's my opinion about what makes a game successful and what makes me want to play the game.
And it sounds like also what you're talking about pushing the game along. I think for you, it sounds to me like you really need kind of a hook that keeps things interesting. So it can't be like the same thing that pushes the game along necessarily because, like you were saying, L.A. Noire gets too repetitive. So even though there's different like police cases to work on, they're all it all kind of boils down to kind of the same thing. Like you go to a location, you walk around for a bit, you solve a couple puzzles, and then you get another cutscene, and then you do it again.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right. So even though like the lips look great on everyone and the faces are so awesome, like the rest of it didn't do it for you. Mm-hmm. So you need something for you that like is continually like original.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why you get into like multiplayer games so much, because even though if you play the same map, like always something different will happen. Do you think that's the case? Like even though like Call of Duty is essentially always the same thing.
Yeah, I think so. Because I mean, certainly the same argument could be said about so many other games. Oh, it's so repetitive; it's the same thing over and over. Which of course,
I like that sign group.
Which of course is the same with Call of Duty. But yeah, I guess that is the reason, because even though you're playing a multiplayer map, the map is the same. That never changes. But the people you play with and the people you play against, their gameplay styles differ, and it's just something different can happen every time. That's why sometimes I do absolutely awful, and other times I could, get my AC 130 no problem.
Right.
So it's very, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
I like that.
Greg, I'm interested in what you think on this topic, as far as like what drives games along for you, or what keeps it interesting. Have you seen Dishonored or played Dishonored yet?
I haven't played it yet, but I hear it's really good.
It is good.
Actually, the one game I'm looking forward to playing, maybe not right now, but is XCOM.
That is also so good.
Yes. I don't know. I enjoyed L.A. Noire a lot.
Okay.
The only thing I didn't like was really the overarching story. But the cases were awesome, and especially if you play anything from that game, play the homicide deaths, because
so cool,
that whole mystery was really, really well crafted.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I don't. What do you mean, drives? What keeps me coming back to a game?
Well, what Andrea was talking about was, if something just boils down to the same thing over and over again, no matter how original that first idea or thing could have been, it's still going to get boring. To some people, maybe to you, it doesn't.
I mean, it depends on the type of thing that you want me to do. Just looking at Borderlands here, I mean, it's very clearly the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a loot fest. You go, you kill things, and you get better guns. Right. That's all it is.
Right.
But I don't mind it, because the mechanics are really solid, and the way everything's set up is really cool.
Right. And if that's the thing that you're into, if you're into Loot Fest, and if that's a draw for you, you want to see what kind of cool guns live in this world, then this is going to be a game for you. That's going to work for you.
Right.
Whereas for other people like Andrea here, who otherwise love shooters, it didn't really work for her. She didn't find it interesting.
Gonna have to fix that. This game is amazing.
So I think then the answer probably lies in somewhere in the middle. Game developers have to keep trying for original ideas, because everything is not going to appeal to everyone.
Oh, and that's true with anything.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
I think for me lately, it's just been something different. I'm starting to get a little sick of the military shooter, and I say that with Black Ops 2 pre-ordered, because that. But the reason I'm getting it is because I want to play zombies. It's just something different.
You're honestly mostly getting that game mostly for zombies.
Yeah.
Really?
Really. Because going back and playing the multiplayer this past week for the first Black Ops, I was getting so frustrated. It's I should not have to play a game and just get this annoyed because my teammates don't know what they're doing.
Right. Or don't care.
Or don't care.
Yeah, a lot of time in that game they just don't care.
And it's I don't always put my try-hard pants on, but it's but sometimes it's fun to win a game. The contract, the middle contract that you can get in that game is always something win however many games or whatever.
Exactly. Yeah.
And the only one I can ever get is win one game. And even then, I don't always get it. I have 40 minutes of game time to win one game, and I can't do it.
Right.
It's because you selected the challenge. That's why.
It's true.
Whenever I select
yourself.
those challenges, I'm lucky if I complete them. Because I don't know, there's just added pressure, I guess, to some extent. And you're I have to win.
Yeah. You try too hard.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think in talking about new IPs, for me at least, I think a lot of it comes down to marketing.
Okay.
Because, there are some games out there that I've really enjoyed. I think the one that comes to mind most recently would be Enslaved, which had its issues, but it was a solid game, and I really enjoyed it.
Right.
When was the last time you saw a commercial for that game? Did you ever see a commercial?
Never did. Not once.
And so it's a little frustrating to see companies not promote their product. And another one that just popped into my head was Rayman Origins. Again, I rave about that game so much, but I loved it. When did they release it? They released it the exact same day as Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yeah, that ain't gonna happen.
See, and I never heard about that game until you started playing it.
Exactly. Nobody heard of that game because they didn't promote it. So it's
right.
What do you expect?
Why are you fighting yourself? Why are you releasing two of your games on the same day? It doesn't make any sense. If they released Rayman Origins 1 week earlier,
right,
or even a week later, I think they would have made a lot more money.
Well, I mean, they decide to put their money behind what they think is going to make them the highest profit, and then if they make other things, I guess they assume that people that are into those so-called niche games will know about it anyways, because they're already educated more than the general consumer who's just going to look for the next sequel of the last big blockbuster that came out, you know?
Yeah, and I mean, that's true. I understand it's a business, absolutely.
Sure.
But, you know...
Well, just like any business, they don't run it well.
Right. It's like, you know, it's the same argument with, you know, new IP shouldn't come out at this time in the console generation. It's like, but I just saw a statistic this past week that Microsoft sold over, I think, 70 million Xbox
million
360s at this point. So you're telling me you don't want to...
Capitalize on it?
Right, let's say even, you know... I mean, obviously I had a lot of problems with the Red Ring of Death, and I'm sure a lot of people just went out and bought another one. So let's say that number isn't accurate, and let's say 40 million people...
Our original ones?
have systems.
Right.
That's still 40 million people.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
It's not that many.
At $60 per game, in addition to DLC.
Right.
I wish I came up with it. Man.
Yeah.
Set.
Right? We'd have better sound equipment if you came up with Xbox. Although this new setup is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Jesse Rowe. We appreciate the soundboard.
Yeah, each of us having a mic makes us feel real professional.
Yes.
And special.
Yeah. We still look silly, but we feel really professional. So, season passes, guys. Season passes have kind of become the mode de rigueur of gaming. I think that means, like, way things are going, but I'm just trying to sound smart. So, Borderlands has a season pass. Greg and I both bought it because we're suckers.
Shocking.
Call of Duty always has a season pass now. We all buy it because we're suckers.
Yep.
Halo has a season pass. Everything has a season pass. Every big release now has a DLC season pass. How do we feel about this? Is this a good thing? Is this a scary thing? Are we all going to end up paying $200 for every game in the next generation now because of all this nonsense?
I like it.
You do?
I like season passes. I'm really happy that Black Ops 2 is going to have that. You don't need to subscribe to Elite anymore.
Right.
I don't want to. The reason I like it is because, at least, I had a positive experience with Borderlands 2 and their season pass. So, here's what I mean. When Mass Effect 3 came out, we had Day 1 DLC. That really aggravates me because...
Yeah, Day 1 paid.
Day 1 paid, like, to get this extra character. And I get that you don't have to, but it really added a lot to the story.
Yeah, it was cool, actually.
And, you know, I think probably the first bad experience with DLC was Dead Space 2. But the day that it came out, I checked online to see what the reviews were. I mean, I had pre-ordered it, so I was going to get it anyways.
Right.
But in addition to the review, there was already an announcement from EA that Dead Space 2 Severed was coming out at some point, which was that expansion.
Yeah.
And it's like, I haven't even gone to the story yet and got this game, and already you're planning DLC.
Right.
And so, like, with Borderlands, like, I got the game, and I had about a month to play through it. Mm-hmm. And that's a lot of stuff to go through in this game. And a month later, we get the first expansion, which I like that. You know, it's giving me enough time to go through the main game.
Right.
I can buy all the DLC right away,
right.
which I'm going to do anyways, and I save a little bit of money.
Right.
So, I don't know, like, I don't mind season passes. I do mind on this DLC and Day 1 DLC.
Right. I think I'm with you on that. Now, would you have a problem if they began to release DLC only for the people that bought the season pass and then everyone else has to wait like an extra month? Would that tick you off? Or would you just say, well, it's a perk of being a season pass owner?
I mean, I'd prefer that the DLC is available to everyone Day 1.
Right.
I think Modern Warfare 3 kind of did a crappy job of that.
Right.
Like, oh, if you're Elite, you get everything early,
right.
but if not, then you have to wait until we release this expansion.
Right.
Whenever we decide to do that.
Right.
And then if you're a PlayStation 3 user, like, you
right.
got it even later.
Right.
So I think the last batch of PlayStation 3 maps for that game came out this month.
Yeah, so like it just came out for PC and PS3 like a week and a half ago.
Oh,
yeah, that was like, 4 weeks after us? Because we had it was like a month ago, right?
I thought the last batch of maps came out in August. Or what? No, maybe it was
No. The last one, Final Assault, came out like a month ago at
September,
least for us. Yeah, but it didn't come out for them. Like literally, I saw the announcement on Steam for the PC version like a week and a half ago, and that's when PS3 got it. So it's ridiculous. They had to wait forever. And God knows, like if you're a hardcore COD fan, you were like watching YouTube videos of all the Xbox people playing it for like the past month and a half. Like that's got to be depressing.
Oh yeah, because you're watching everyone else play
Have fun.
and you don't have it.
Yeah, that sucks. Yeah, I am not a fan of timed DLC. I really hate that companies do that. Like they just like sell out and pay $1 billion extra to Activision. Yeah, I don't like that at all. I do think I do like season passes though. I mean, maybe I'm just a sucker because I buy too much. But in the last year, I was just thinking to myself while you were talking about your experience, Greg, about how many season passes I bought, and the number is probably more than I care to admit, but I guess I do like the idea of saving a little cash and getting knowing that I'm going to get everything that can come with the game. But I mean, it is getting a little bit crazy and expensive, and now it's like for a new release, you kind of have to figure this isn't $65 anymore. It's really like $120, like
yeah,
which is a bummer.
It's true. I mean, it's getting a little ridiculous, and like we talked about, I hope that the next console generation is a little smarter about that.
Right. Andrea, how many season passes have you bought for games ever?
Not many, actually. I was trying to think. I do have the Elite version for Call of Duty. Shocking, but that was a nice gift. So technically, I didn't pay for that. And what else? Let's see. I'm kind of. In general, I'm really slow to get DLC. Like, I just recently got Dawn Guard.
Right.
I think it's because... I don't mean to keep using Skyrim as an example, but it's just what I've been playing, so it's fresh in my mind. That game is so big. There's so much to do. Mm-hmm. And the thought of adding DLC almost right when I got it was overwhelming. It's just like, well, I want to play what I have first, and then I'll get it.
Right.
So I'm glad I got it. I mean, I think it's a good idea. Certainly, like to save money. I don't have the Halo season pass or whatever the DLC that came with the pre-order game. I don't know all the details of that.
I would assume you're going to get it though.
Eventually, yeah. I mean, when I pre-ordered the game, I just got the game itself, but for something like Halo and something I know that I'm going to be playing a lot, I think it's definitely worth it.
Right.
So I think for me it comes down to how much am I going to play this game?
Right.
Halo, Call of Duty, oh sure, yeah, let's get that.
Let's
get that right away. Yeah. For something like Skyrim, I was fine waiting a while, but I know that's not a season pass.
Right.
But still, all I hear is, ka-ching, ka-ching. You buy the game and then you have to get all this extra stuff, which is fun, but not so good for the wallet. Right.
So here's another idea for you guys. How would you like it more if games came out in smaller chunks, almost like episodic, but DLC was bigger? Like what if it was a lower buy-in price for something like Halo, but you only got the single player, but it was like $20. And then if you wanted the multiplayer suite, it'd be another $20. And then if you wanted all of the multiplayer packs, it'd be $15, and if you wanted Spartan Ops, it'd be another $10. Like, would that be a better system for you guys? Like, because I know for me personally, I don't play Halo for single player like at all, and I know that's odd. I know that's odd, and I always play through them, and I always enjoy them. So I sound stupid even saying that, but I don't. I really don't. Like, I play Halo the same reason I want to play any shooter, which is for multiplayer. That's what I like about shooters. Mm-hmm. So if they released a Halo, like, this is the multiplayer suite version of the game, you will get all of the DLC for the multiplayer, but you won't get the story. And if you want to buy the story later, that's great, but you'll have to pay another $20. I would actually buy that version. I would actually save myself some $20 and buy the multiplayer, because I don't really, I mean, yeah, I'll like it, I'm sure, but I'm not,
It's an interesting idea, and I've heard it before in terms of Call of Duty.
Right.
Like, what if you paid, $30 for the game?
Right.
And then maybe like $10 for the multiplayer,
right?
Or something similar. And I like the idea in theory, but that could get abused real quick.
Sure.
So, I mean, I can easily see. Well, I mean, even someone like Capcom, they've already done something like that with like Azura's Wrath.
Right.
I know that I haven't played it. I want to at some
point. It's
very
weird.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah. No, yeah. Japan.
Japan. Yep. but they finished the game, and like they had this ending.
Don't you dare kill that chicken. I'm sorry. No!
No, he looked at you, Greg. He looked at you with his blocky eyes.
As soon as you pulled out the sword and you're following the chicken, you're like, no. Oh, no, you didn't.
He's going for the play.
Side note, this is the update 1.8 with the hunger meter and everything, so I was just kind of messing around. So
is it fun?
Yeah. If you'd like to see more of it, just let me know. Next time I get the card, I could film some more, but it's fun stuff. You know, it's Minecraft.
Hunger meter? You have to eat?
Yeah.
Is that why you killed the chicken?
Yeah, he needs the chicken.
No.
He's playing the Hunger Games now.
But, what was I saying?
Sorry. Yeah.
DLC. So they finish the game, and you have a full game, and they're like, we'll add extra episodes later. And one of the extra episodes was like the true ending. Yeah, it's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's such garbage. Like I wouldn't be able to stand for that. So I like the model that you're proposing, but I can easily see these bigger game companies and publishers just totally abusing that.
Right. Well, unfortunately, it seems like they kind of abuse every system. So it's like the lesser of two evils. You know, if I could save some money at the cash register initially, I think I'd go for that. Mm-hmm. As it is, it seems like every time a new game comes out, like a new big game comes out, I'm like, oh no. I'm almost scared. Oh, he's going to kill that chicken. There he goes. He's running around. He's trying to...
Go, chicken, run! Run! No, wrong way, dude!
Look at him try. Oh, it's so sad.
No!
It's very sad.
Oh.
But like I was saying, every time a new game comes out, I'm just thinking to myself, well, this is not really $65. This is like $1 million. You know, especially if it's made by Activision. Or Microsoft Studios.
Absolutely.
I think for me it would depend a lot on the game. For something like Call of Duty, I would be perfectly happy just playing the multiplayer because I never found the campaigns for that game to be great.
Right.
That's a cat.
If you heard that on the podcast, folks, I am not a cat abuser. My cat just complains all day long.
Let's see. Call of Duty. With the exception of, I really enjoyed the first Modern Warfare. I liked the campaign, but after that,
Yeah.
I would be fine just paying for the multiplayer.
It should be called Guys Running Away from Explosions. Like
Pretty
that's
much.
like what that game should be called as far as single player. Because it's
but
like,
Soap was in there, so
follow me to the next explosion, and then it explodes and you run away.
For something like Halo, I wouldn't be as eager to do that because I like playing through the story and I like the multiplayer. So I would just rather have both of those at the same time.
Right. Well, it's an interesting discussion. I really do. As we've been saying, like we seem to harp on this every week because it continues to be true. Like I really do hope in the next console generation they start to take a look at what digital distribution has done on platforms like Steam on the PC.
Oh, yeah.
Like where a lot of developers come up with cheaper versions of games that you can then build on later. Because I know for myself, like the only new IPs I've bought on a computer have been these like cheaper ones. Like this medieval game has been like awesome for me because it was like $20 like to buy into it, and now I find I really like it. So if they come out with a big DLC, I'll buy it now. So they're going to ultimately make more money off of me, you know. But I never would have checked that game out if it wasn't $20. You know?
Oh yeah.
So
the price is right.
The price is right. So in our show notes here, Andrea, you had written down Halo 4 Spartan Ops. I'm wondering what your thoughts are about this.
Oh yeah, I get those email updates from Halo, and of course the subject was like, "Oh, new multiplayer." So
right.
Well, let's read this. It didn't give me too much info, but I did like that there's going to be a new Spartan Ops in the Halo multiplayer. To me, it sounds a lot like Call of Duty's Spec Ops, if I had to compare it with something.
Right.
Although, I guess it is going to have a story, which I think makes it more interesting.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to see what they do with that.
And it's episodic, isn't it, Greg? Aren't they going to come out with like a new storyline?
Episodic. Every week there's going to be
like a new mission.
5 new missions.
5?
5 new missions.
Oh my god!
And that's going to go on. It's going to go on for. I want to say 10 weeks, but I could be wrong. But it's going to go on for a while. So
isn't it? So after the 10 weeks, though, like, can't you replay any of them?
Yes, you can replay any of them.
Okay, so it's not like the 10 weeks and then you're done.
Right.
Okay, and you can still get like I don't know enough about Halo 4's like multiplayer unlock system. Do you know, Greg, if it's like still on a credits based thing, so you can replay them for more credits later to get more armor pieces and stuff like that, like it was in Reach? Or
well, I know you can, but I don't know if it's like Reach because like if you play the campaign in Reach, I think by the time you were done, they just gave you like 100,000.
Right, exactly,
or something. But if you ever played any other missions in campaign like after that, you were lucky if you got 200.
Oh,
a mission.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're kind of penalizing
Yeah,
single player that way.
Right.
So I'll have to wait and see.
Either way, I'm excited to play that. I'm excited for anything that's kind of like co-op centric. I think Borderlands has reignited my love of co-op shooters. I can't wait for that. Because I suck at Halo multiplayer, as you guys know, because you played Halo multiplayer with me. But I just smell so bad at that game. Like, you'd smell the stench of how much I suck, like, over the Xbox headset. So, if there's something co-op that I can actually, like, help the team and feel happy about myself, then that's what I'm looking forward to. So we wanted to have a quick little discussion here. Just a little bit of whining. Well, I usually give a lot more than a little bit of whining, but here's a little bit. My work week has been crazy, so unfortunately, as I said in the opening of the show, I haven't had really any time to play my consoles this past week, which has been depressing to me. And it got me thinking about things that I have either sacrificed or crazy things I've done for the good of gaming in my past. So I was wondering if you guys have any interesting stories about like when a big game came out, like what's the silliest thing you've done, or what are things that you... Oh, Greg, you almost killed yourself jumping off that thing.
I know.
Ouch.
How did you get up there, by the way?
He built his way up there.
Tower.
Yeah.
Oh.
I wanted to see what was on the floating island.
And there was nothing.
There was coal.
Oh, well, there you go, yeah.
Floating island. Knuckles lived on a floating island. Sonic.
Yeah.
Floating island,
yeah.
Flashback, sorry. That's what it reminds me of.
Do echidnas in the wild live on floating islands?
What?
Isn't he a echidna or an
Echidna,
echidna?
yeah.
Dang it, echidna.
To answer your question, though, I when that 360 came out, I slept as soon as I got home from school.
Yeah.
And then I woke up at like 10 and drove all the way out to GameStop so I could get the midnight release of the new system. Because my mom was like, "You're going to school the next day, so you can do what you want, but..."
But I'm waking you up at 7 or whatever.
And then I didn't even get it, because apparently I was on the second pre-order list.
Oh.
Which is dumb. Why do you pre-order something if you're not going to get it?
Right.
So I had to wait until like March.
Which reminds me of the Wii U waitlist. Like,
yeah, that's
you're
what
on
happened
it
to
too,
me
right?
again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I went in there and I was like, oh, why the hell not? You know, so I put myself on the wait list, and the guy was like, militant about telling me, he's like, this does not mean that you're going to get the Wii U ever. And I'm like, why are you calling it a wait list if you're going to tell me that I can't wait for it? Like, what's the point of having a list then? And he's like, it's just to tell us that you want it. I'm like, everyone wants it. It's a new system.
Right. Well, based on what the guy told me, he wasn't as crazy like that. He's like, we're going to let you know you have 48 hours to pick it up.
That guy didn't even tell me that. He's just like, this just tells me you want it. I'm like, I could have told you I want it without putting myself on an official computer.
Wait. So you guys both pre-ordered this?
Well, no.
Not pre-order.
Yeah, we didn't put any money.
They're just going to let us know when one comes in. If
when
we
it's
want
in
it,
stock.
we can get
Oh.
it.
And as they come in stock, if you're the ones on the wait list, then you get first dibs on it. Exactly.
Oh.
But knowing, like, crazy Nintendo, they'll probably make 10 copies of the system for the first run, and then, like, we will never get it. We'll be 45 years old by the time we get Wii U.
It's true.
Which is depressing to think about. But anyways. Andrea, something crazy you've done.
Oh boy. Last year, Modern Warfare 3. That was actually my first midnight release.
Can't believe it.
I know. So that was fun. I really thought, like a couple of days beforehand, that I would be fine going into work at 8:30 a.m. the very next day. No. I ended up taking a personal day, and I was up until like 4 a.m. playing Modern Warfare 3. Totally worth it. Had a blast despite the cold and ugly rain. And
Right. Possible pneumonia.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. When Halo 2 came out, I was in undergrad in college. Let's see, what did I do? I did not go to class that day, so I could get in line early.
Oh boy.
And then I got in line at about 3:30 p.m. the day it was going to come out on midnight, and me and some like 20 other guys just stayed there all day. And one guy tried to get out of line and get food for someone else, and when he came back, another person literally beat him up. Like, because we had been in line so long, like, they literally had a fist fight. Yeah.
See, I have no
So I was too scared. So I was too scared to leave the line. So I just sat there and like when you talk about like slow torture, like waiting for a game from 3:30 until midnight is slow torture. The cops showed up and said, "What is going on?" Like they got out their cop cars. They're like, "Do we have to arrest all of you? Like, what are you doing? Is this a protest? Are you terrorists? Like, what's going on?" They're like, "No, we're just waiting for a game." And like guys had to like go, like people had to like go to the bathroom and they were like, "What am I gonna do? What am I gonna do?" And like we're just like, "Just hold it, man." It was like being in Vietnam. Like it was absolutely insane.
That's the exact same thing, really.
Real, I mean, like
waiting for Halo 2.
Oh,
See,
absolutely.
I would never ever do that.
That was the craziest I've ever been. But I have been to many a midnight release as well, and I have gone to many a workday on 2 hours of sleep because I played until 5 a.m. and then woke up at 7 to get to a meeting. So I've done that. I've done that so many times, even in the past couple of years, I can't even count, like, on two hands.
Well, good for you. See, I couldn't do that. If I don't get my sleep, I'm very, very cranky.
Oh, I didn't say I wasn't cranky. I was probably a mess to be around for 2 days straight, but it's completely worth it if you're getting new games.
I suppose. It's the trade-off.
So I suppose with our admissions of our silly life choices, we will wrap this episode up. But thank you, as always, folks, for listening to us on our new sound equipment. I hope it was clearer and we all come through nice and loud. Please make sure to check us out at our official website, MondayMooCast.com. Find us on our Facebook page. Find us on our YouTube at Monday MOOcast. And please leave likes and comments. And Greg's going to make me throw up with this video of him. Oh, there he goes. Nice job.
Is that...
No problem.
That's an achievement, isn't it?
Yes, it is. So...
That's pretty
Also, stay tuned for a Let's Play probably next week.
Yeah, hopefully
we can get it going next week. So
so thanks so much for listening, folks, and we're going to sign off. This is the Moos. Moo!